Hey everyone, Grammy Karen, the Mindful Homestead, Mimsy's Garden. Hey, your garden looks amazing, by the way. Larry.
Guys, y'all doing okay tonight? Fancy Farmer, you doing okay? Sorry we were a little late. We were trying to get everything kicked back off. But
we have to get our kids settled before we can get over here and sit down and talk to y'all.
Well, it's kind of late afternoon. We had a call. A lady called Misty and said that she had a bee swarm. So
Art of Creation.
We caught a bee swarm, and so we were outside doing that. And Misty was working in here and getting supper done. And Jamie's Little Farmstead, how are you? Homesteading Graven, how are y'all?
Having the
Airway
homestead.
Farm, having homestead. Having homestead, I just caught my second swarm of the year. So
the first one was pretty small, but that one was
huge.
Hey
Walterman. Yeah, this one was a monster.
It was huge.
This is actually the best swarm I've ever caught. Hey, Leatherwood, how are you?
Yep. So the lady called me at lunch, and they have a humongous tree in their front yard that the bees have lived in for
Hey, Sean, Alaska.
A year or two now. And the queen left, so some of the swarm went to a little small tree, like on the other side of the yard. So she called us and she said, please come get these bees. They're like 3 feet off the ground. And it was a nice catch. So we had to do all the work though.
Homestead Engraving Business and Life. With our bees, the first hives, I'd say the first hive we've got, you always get your hives usually around March, April, May. I mean, depends on when someone is splitting or if you're buying or if you're catching a swarm. They will develop honey even for spring and that fall. I'm not saying that you would pull fall honey.
Unless they're really, really strong.
If they're strong or really more than that, they really need that honey for the first winter. So I didn't pull my first fall.
We did off of one.
Yeah, we did off one because it was
super strong.
We had room, to be honest with you, and we were just excited.
Hey, Stacy.
But for most part, you would be pulling the next spring, depending on how aggressive it is. Because again, you don't want to pull from where she's at. You don't want to pull from the next hive up. We only pull from our honey supers unless we just need to get down into the bottom.
Narrow Way Farm said, "What words are we going to talk about tonight?"
They'll come up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's just casual conversation for us. So I got like a swollen arm. I don't know if y'all can tell it. Like
he got stung when he was getting that swarm.
I always get stung. It always happens. So lesson in so I know.
Hey, you won't be getting a lesson from me because of my grammar is.
Hey, JNC's Oregon Homestead. Hey, Miss Vera, how are you? Yes.
Did anybody get in the storms? We had some pretty bad storms come through the south.
And Mimsy, I know they would have.
We had some really heavy rain. We had some wind. We lost power for a few hours.
Art of Creation said, "Are you wearing your flip flops?"
I am actually in house shoes tonight. Anyway, but we didn't really get any major damage. Now we did lose power for a little while, and I have 3 incubators going, so I went and put blankets over them and jackets over them, but the temperature did drop some, so I'm a little worried about them.
And we lost 3 turkeys. We don't know if it's from the light going off or just because they're turkeys. So we lost 3 turkeys and a duck, which wasn't happy for us. Which duck? What was the duck we lost? What was the name of the duck we lost?
We lost Quack.
We lost Quack. So
yeah. So we're down to 5 ducks now, and they're huge. They have grown tremendously just since last week. But I did add them
freezing rain. Oh my gosh!
I did add them another heat lamp in there, so I'm hoping that that's gonna. And the temperature dropped after the storms. We had Easter storms.
Yeah.
And like I said, major rains, some pretty heavy winds, but it wasn't terrible. But in the local counties around us, there were several deaths. So.
Having the homestead, we are going to be selling some piglets off the American Guinea Hog. They are a purebred American Guinea Hog with a heritage breed registered father. George is a big old boy. So we are going to be selling them. We have
5 males.
Yeah, 5 males and 2 females. We are going to cut some, and we're going to leave some as boars just in case someone wants to raise some homestead hogs. So reach out to us if you're interested, because we are going to sell. I know y'all are not too far from us. So
yeah, well, I know I have maybe 1 or 2 that someone from an hour away messaged me not long ago about. She hasn't given me for sure yet. Her husband's working off in another state, and they were going to conversate and decide what they wanted to do before she spoke for those. So we're excited about that. I went out there today, and y'all, let me tell you, those little things are crazy. Colby could hear them squealing across the yard when I picked them up just to double check to verify.
What's up, Paige?
Because we are fixing to get them worked on.
Oh my gosh, I could not imagine waking up to snow. Golly, that's crazy.
We wore short sleeve. No, we did have to wear pants today.
What's up,
Ethan?
I like the name.
Hey,
I like the name. David Aries, how are you? Muriel, hey, he said he was interested in some hogs. Hey, Heath, did you look into that Facebook group today? I told him about the American Guinea Hog kind of Facebook group that we were part of. We don't go on it a lot, but they do sell.
We woke up to snow. Oh, we had a hard freeze. Yeah, I mean, it got down to what, 40?
40. It got down to 40, which, to be honest with you, anytime.
To you Alaskan folks and Canadian folks,
but
we know that ain't nothing to y'all.
That's crazy to happen after Easter here. That's kind of nuts.
Which wasn't bad. I mean, I closed the greenhouse up. I didn't have to turn on any heaters or anything like that. Everything looked great when I checked it today, but 26. Oh my goodness, y'all are killing me. Y'all are making me cold.
Tonight, I was milking this morning. It's 42, and tomorrow I'm gonna be milking at 46. I'm like in coveralls and a jacket, so I couldn't handle that. Y'all keep that up there.
So I want to know. Y'all saw our title: "Desperate Times Call for Desperate Measures."
Can we see it?
All right, just hold on before you give it away. What have y'all done? I want to know what y'all have done.
Yeah, so since you've been in quarantine, what has been a change of life that you've had to make? I'm not talking about
that you're
running.
Not used to doing.
Yeah, so,
like you're like, okay, this has to be done, but I can't. Like I'm gonna have to do it, or this has to be done, and this is not the way it normally plays out or rolls out. But we just gotta roll with it. I want to know what y'all have had to do.
Paige family, we don't have snow ever. If we get snow, it's like amazing.
I don't think we've had snow.
Hey, Miley, how are you?
Since 2017.
Yeah, and now we had a good snow that year, but that was the biggest snow we've had in a long time.
In years.
Look at Ultraman. That was funny.
Me too.
Fancy Farmer. We get anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 gallons a day. Now,
the past few mornings we've been getting.
Yeah, we've been getting about 3.5. Now, let me go back and say this. We're feeding 2 calves too. So
so we are calf share.
So we calf share. So if we were not calf sharing, we'd probably get 4 or 5. But 3.5 is plenty. 2.5 to 3.5 is plenty for us. Misty made yogurt today, and we've been making butter every day. So 2.5, 3 gallons is what we get from both our milk cows. Again, if you had just one cow with no baby on them, you would probably be getting 2.5, 3 gallons from one cow. So we would probably get 4.5, 5 if we were not milking both babies. But Josie's supposed to come off, so our milk will go up. And then of course we have what's it? Christoph. I couldn't think of his name.
I was reading. So I've seen cutting hair, not being able to be with grandbabies, made homemade ketchup, Bible studies. Yeah, church has definitely changed for us too. Put my dogs on the table and started flipping them.
Kim, we're about the same way on that side. We really don't. Nothing's really changed on our lifestyle.
Not eating out.
Yeah, other than just having to cut hair. So
yeah, so that's what desperate times call for desperate measures. I have never cut hair before, ever. Like I don't.
That's awesome, Larry.
Cut hair at all, and Chloe was like, "You've got to cut my hair," and I was like,
"My hair gets really
I'm going to jack up your head. Like, at least let me practice on Aiden because Aiden doesn't have to go anywhere. I'm not ready to cut your hair." So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and I tried.
So my hair is very wavy and just kind of does what it wants to do. So I knew my hair, I told Misty, as long as you can shape it up, it really doesn't matter. Now, Aiden is another subject. He has really thick hair, but it's just straight and fine. So we just kept going shorter and shorter, and now he just looks like he's a Marine. So Misty kind of got a little crazy on his head.
Well, when I actually did Colby's first because he was like, I've got to have a haircut before tomorrow.
I mean,
it was like all over his ear. I mean, it was like he really did need a haircut. But I was like, I'm telling y'all, I was terrified. I was so nervous. I was laughing hysterically. And when I put the thing on his neck and went up his head and lost all the hair, and then he had like a bowl cut, is what we call it, is where like it's hair all up here, but then this back here is like super short. Then I started laughing even more because I was like, I don't know how to fix this. But I managed to make it work. To me, I don't know who all knows how to cut hair and all of that, but the fading seems to be the hardest part for me. So I watched YouTube video after YouTube video on how to cut men's hair.
I think we're going to start growing mullets around here. Just let it grow in the back. Aiden said, will you leave me a mullet?
The fading was the hardest part. And Aiden's, instead of stopping like right here, I went up a little too high. So then I was up in the crown, and I really didn't know how to fix that. So we had to go super, super short.
Yeah, his is pretty short.
Whoops. I told him, I was like, well, practice makes perfect. So
that's good.
Next time will be better.
That's good. Hey, thank you, Adler Farms.
Thank you.
Corn growing brother. Hey, I'm trying to get Adler Farms to just rock the mustache. So shave all this Adler Farms and just rock the mustache. I think that would rock really good. And a mullet would probably go good with it as well.
Hey, he's been challenged to do a SCOBY
Oh gosh,
shot,
I forgot about that.
But I don't even see them on here. But
yeah. Hey Kim, that's great about your local lady with the egg. So congratulations there.
I didn't see that. My kitten stepped on the keyboard. Oh, that's okay. You got a crew cut. That's exactly what Aiden has, is a crew cut.
We're about to do like a funny picture in mullets. I think that'd be a good one
So
there.
yeah, let's do your SCOBY shot. No, not really. But I don't know if I could pull you off any. But whenever I can't do it, but whenever I have enough, I had to restart mine. It was my fault. I messed up. I sipped the tea, and then I found out 2 days later that I had strep throat.
So hey, Alex, how are you?
I chunked the whole thing and started over. And I don't have enough yet, but Colby was tagged in a video to do a SCOBY shot. I can't do it. I'll throw up.
I've always said I was going to throw up, but Daniel Rizza, he has a channel on YouTube, and also he's part of the Abundant Permaculture.
We were able
to met him through that. But he did a SCOBY shot the other day that we saw through GT's kombucha. That he did SCOBY shots, and they're supposed to be really good for you. So he challenged me. We'll go with it. It looks like a big loogie mixed with tea.
If any of y'all watched much about kombucha, so you know kombucha, your SCOBY is a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. That's what it stands for. And that basically sits in your tea and it ferments your tea, but it turns into like a jelly pancake or like a jellyfish consistency. It's very
it's gelatinous,
slimy.
Nasty. Yeah, it's just nasty.
And
a loogie.
dirt. Yeah, so anyway, I couldn't do it. I'm a textured person, and I wouldn't say that I gag real easy, but there's no way I could do it. There's no way. If that went in the back of my throat, it would. So I told
What's up, Life Garden? How are you?
For sure have to take that one.
Yeah, I'm not really a textured eater. I can eat just about anything. But that one always, every time I grab a SCOBY, like if we and Missy are knocking it out, I just can't. They're just nasty looking. But hey,
they're very good for you.
He better not come on the chat tonight. If he does, I'm gonna have to probably do it.
Well, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I would probably need to wait till my next brew because it grows. So every time you make tea that has
yeah, Fancy Farmer. It's a lot of people are doing SCOBY hotels through that.
Yeah,
so they'll grow them and make SCOBY hotels.
Because every time you feed it, basically your SCOBY grows and it gives you another layer. And the more layers you get, they call that a SCOBY hotel. But it is very good and it's very tasty. I love it. But I could not swallow that. I just couldn't.
I don't know if I could either. I guess I'll try.
He did it. I was surprised.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
hey, Little Feet, how are you?
I think I could do that over eating a worm. Did anybody in here see that?
No, it wasn't a worm. It was a grub. It was disgusting.
No, I think it was a worm.
No, you talking about Tommy?
No.
Oh, okay. That was
another homestead family. They hit 1,000, and once they hit 1,000, the wife ate a worm. Like she really ate it.
Naraway Farm. It is what it's what grows in kombucha to make your kombucha or your tea to ferment. So that's actually what it is.
Who asked that? I've never heard of Scoby's. So it's SCOBY, symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast.
Scoby Kenobi.
And it's like, it's kind of like the principle with yogurt. So when you're making yogurt, you take milk and you inoculate it with cultures. And then that milk turns into yogurt. It's the same principle, but you use cultures. I bought a bottle of unflavored kombucha original from Whole Foods an hour away from us, and that it has cultures in it. So then I made sweet tea and put it in a container and put the cultures in there. So that process is called inoculation. And put a cheesecloth on it, wrap really tight around the top, put it in a dark cabinet, and let it sit for like 4 or 5 weeks. And then it forms what's called SCOBY. And that's that bacteria and yeast that has basically just grown and formed like a culture, basically.
One big loogie.
And then so it feeds off the sugar in the sweet tea, and then it changes to what's called kombucha, which is where kind of like goes back to the milk and stuff. When you inoculate the milk with cultures, it turns into yogurt. So when you inoculate the sweet tea with the cultures of a SCOBY, it turns into kombucha. Yes, it does smell like vinegar, but it tastes good. The longer you let it sit, the stronger it gets. And some people like it a little bit more sweet. Some people like it really, really tangy. I have found about that 5th or 6th day is good for us. It's got that little twang to it, but it's still sweet enough that you can drink it, and it has a nice, pleasant taste to it. So that's where we like it.
Fancy Farmer, that's awesome that your elderberries are doing well. Our property is about 30 some odd acres.
It says, I'm so happy your elderberries are surviving.
Oh, well, I'm glad our elderberries are doing good too.
Showed on the video where we planted them by the pond. They look amazing, y'all. I was a little nervous because it was during growing season. They were not dormant. They already were growing. So I was a little nervous about it, but I was very happy with it.
Yeah, we've so far, no telling how many elderberries we actually have on our property now that we've cut away from our property and put back on our property. So that's very good too. Yeah, Page family, we keep our loogies here, so we sure do.
What's so funny is
Naraway Farm. You have GTs, you have Kavita. Before we started making it, my favorite was Kavita.
Peach and pineapple.
Peach and pineapple. Usually, you're going to pay about $2 a glass for it, or $2 a bottle for it. But Misty probably liked the GT Dave's berry. I don't know. You like the peach?
I liked them, and there's so many different flavors. The really cool thing about kombucha
you can do whatever you want
once you do your first ferment, which is feeding the tea, let it sit until you get the taste that you like, and then you pull it off, and then you refeed it. It's kind of like sourdough. That principle, you pull off of it, and then you feed it, and you pull off of it, and then you feed it. But the cool thing is if you wanted to do a second ferment, you can flavor it. So you can put apple juice, you can put grape juice, you can put real apples, you can put pineapple, you can put so many different things in it, and it gives it a carbonation because those bacteria and yeast feed off that sugar, and then it produces gases, which is it's carbonation. So it's like taking a soft drink and kind of shaking it up, and when you open it, you get that nice fizz. It's kind of like it does the same thing. So it's really neat. But you can do kiwis. I mean, just the sky's the limit. People do ginger root. People do, what are some other unique things?
But a lot of people do strawberry kiwi's a favorite one.
That people, the sky's the limit. You can do almost anything with it. So that's really cool.
My favorite's probably apple or grape. I don't even like grape flavored things, but I like the grape juice in there, apple or the pineapple.
I like the grape. But I'm going to be honest with you. When we pull it at around that 5th or 6th day, I almost like it like it is. So.
Anyway, I'd challenge you to try it if you learn to like the Kavita or like the GT Daves. I mean, like I think Mimsy said, you can. They're good, but the thing about making your own is that you can flavor it how you want to, and also age it however you want to. Right. So, like if you're not the kind that likes, if you like it more sweet, you may not be getting the I would say health benefits, but maybe the medicinal or health benefits.
You're just going to have a little bit more sugar.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit more sugary. But if you're trying to age it a little bit more, you're going to get a lot more benefits from it. It's going to be a little bit more tangy and it's
going to be a lot stronger.
It's good for you though. It's good for your gut.
I've had some people somebody in here, I don't remember exactly who it was earlier, referred to it smelling like vinegar. Yeah. The longer you let it sit, it will also taste like vinegar.
Yeah.
So that's just something to keep in mind. But it is cool. It's really cool. And it's so good for you.
There was a lot of people said mango. We talked about trying that. Blueberry. We just never did.
I did apples, cut up apples, and blueberries in my last, not my last batch, but the batch before. It's easy art of creation. It was really good.
Anytime we eat like a simple meal, Misty and the kids eat a lot of it.
I have several YouTube videos of that art of creation that, I mean, it's so easy to do. It's not complicated. I really just cut straight to the point and say, this is what you need. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to watch for.
But anybody that's trying kombucha for the first time in their way, I would say don't think of it as tea. Think of it as like almost like a ginger ale or a punch. Because that'll help you get a taste for it.
Sparkling taste to it, not, if that makes sense.
If you're like from the South, we're from the South. So when people say it's just tea, that's a totally different concept for most people. So if we tell people it tastes more like a ginger ale or a sparkling drink of some sort, I think that would help them get the taste for it a little bit more. We love it, but I mean, for people who are trying to just get the benefits from it and not sure if they like the taste, that's why a lot of people make it so they don't have to make it as bitter or
mango, strawberry, blueberry, pineapple. I mean, there's so much. I mean, there's really so much that you can do with it.
Like
and there's a different process. Y'all tell me if y'all know. There's a different. Oh,
thank you, Alex. I never got a gyro before. I'm excited about that one.
That is pretty cool. There is a different process that you can do where you add honey. You add honey instead of sugar. And if y'all know what that is called, y'all say it. It's the same process, but instead of adding sugar, you use honey. But it's actually called, it's not called kombucha. It's called.
Oh, I don't know that, no.
There's another YouTube channel, and all she does is kombucha. And I learned most of my stuff from her. But I cannot remember the name of it. June, that's it.
Texan Life.
That's what it's called, June. So,
hey, by the way.
Yes. So, instead of using sugar, it's basically the same principle, but you use honey. It's just labeled something different. But I'm not sure. No problem,
Rehab Life. Thank you.
It's not sure. I'm not sure I would think that it would be even more healthy.
Probably so.
Honey than sugar. But at the day that you pull it, it's going to be limited in sugar anyway because the bacteria and the yeast is feeding off of that.
So, we have some kombucha videos, but the person that I think there's a lady, an Asian lady. I think it's called All About Kombucha.
I can't remember. I'll have to look it up.
But she does her whole channel's on kombucha.
Every series is on it.
She's pretty good. I've watched her.
Mm-hmm. That's who I've watched.
She talks about. She goes into like the scientific part of it.
Yeah.
And then GT Dave's. GT Dave's a big. Commercialized.
Hey, Amy.
Kombucha, but they have some cool things about it too. Hey, Amy, how are you?
Well, we are very thankful for people like your daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about catching that swarm earlier. So we caught 2 swarms this year so far. But what was so bad, we had kind of a bittersweet moment yesterday. So we caught this monster swarm today. Really a huge swarm. Actually, probably the biggest swarm that I've ever been a part of. And I all did it by myself because Misty had the baby. We'll talk about the baby. He's got this like a hand like this now because
Actually, right after I talked to you today, Larry, it was like
Jewel. It's not June. It's
chaos.
Jewel. That sounds right. So, anyways, we lost a monster swarm yesterday. So we picked up 2 swarms. We've split 3. But when I say we lost a swarm yesterday, it was huge. So I was a little upset.
It was like a million bees. And I was like, no.
It was like a tornado. They were swarming perfectly together.
I mean, I called Colby. I was like, I have bad news.
But we lost that one. But again, it was good because all of a sudden this person called us today. We were able to pick it up. So, when you lose one and all of a sudden you gain one, it kind of helps you balance it out, I guess. So we were happy with that. And we'll have a video on us with this one.
Grammy Karen said, "How did you get stung with a big suit on?"
They know how to light me up no matter what. So I'm allergic to bees. I know that's stupid. He
gets localized swelling.
Yeah, I get bad swelling. Like actually, even with Benadryl, I don't know if you can tell that, but this is like this big lump right here. Yeah. So, anyways, I wear usually two gloves on each hand normally because something about right here they just tear me up. So, anyways,
he double gloves. I don't have to, but he does.
They just don't like me, man. I'm telling you, no matter what hive I go into, they just eat me up. So, anyways, long story short, I picked up 4 gloves like I always do, and I put 2 on this right hand, and my left hand I accidentally had an extra right hand, so I couldn't make it work because then my finger was like this, and I couldn't get into the thing. So I said, well, I'll just go one-handed because I'm not actually checking bees. I'm just doing a swarm. I'm just picking a swarm up. Soon as I pulled them off the tree,
a swarm with his hand.
Yeah, but usually they're a little bit more docile. I wouldn't say they're docile, but they're a little bit more docile. So I pulled it off the tree, laid them in the box, and man, when I laid them in the box, it's like they were all like, woof. And when they attacked that hand, they just caught my wrist right there. Yeah. But that's better than last week. Last week when we were, thank you, Miss Kathy. You sure don't have to do that. Thank you. But last week, what was even worse is I tuck my overalls into my boots when I do bees because it keeps it tight. Well, I mean, that usually causes bees not to go in your boot. But yet last week when we went and checked them, there was like 3 or 4 got in my boot and man, tore my legs up. My whole ankle, I think I took like 4 or 5 things of Benadryl and it was like swollen up.
It finally went down.
It was terrible.
You did not have to pay me back for those batteries today. I sat some batteries out on the front porch for my mom this afternoon so she could check her blood pressure. She had been at work. So I just left them out on the porch. But you did not have to do that.
I'm glad you got your cast off today, Grammy Karen.
Oh, did she? I missed that comment.
What she said.
Good. I know that is such a relief. I was thinking she's typing pretty fast with that thing on. What a relief. That's terrible when you're used to working with 2 and then you get limited to 1. I know that's terrible.
Fancy Farmer, I use a brush sweeper when I'm pulling the honey.
Kathy from North Star Prep Center.
Usually when I'm grabbing a swarm, I pretty much just grab them because the way it was done, I couldn't cut the limb off. One that wasn't even our tree, so I hated to try to cut the limb off or break the limb off, and they were like videoing me at the same time I was videoing it. So I got them off, and usually, like I said, I never have an issue. But this one, man, they tore me up.
Scaldy and swollen. Aiden got his cast off. He broke his arm in a soccer game years ago. And when it come off, it was like a little beanie rail. He had lost all his muscle, toned his arm, and I was like, it looks so pitiful. But it didn't take him long to regain that muscle back. He could definitely tell it was his dominant hand. And he could definitely tell he was much, much weaker. But it didn't take him long. I wanted to comment. I saw somebody say that they had that they'd used sugar maple. I'm going to get it out in a minute. Maple syrup instead of sugar. And then I read where somebody said that the alcohol content is basically the difference. When you use sugar, where did that comment go? When you use sugar, it gives X amount of alcohol. Okay, there it is. It has a higher alcohol, 2% compared to the 0.5 when you make it with sugar. Yes, I was telling Larry and them earlier because he said it has a bit of an alcohol-y smell, and I said it does, and that's okay. That's still normal. Go ahead and drink it.
Walker Farm family.
But the longer you let it sit, obviously it's fermenting, so it's going to give off that little bit of alcohol smell. But even at its max, it's still a very, 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 very minimal percentage.
Now, if you just keep on aging it.
But it is a brewing process. Yeah. I mean, that is what it is. What it is. But
Rehab life. We just saw your comment. We did get bad storms. It was amazing. God blessed us because it kind of went around our county, and we had a lot of damage.
Like, I mean, we lost our county, and we lost down and up around us.
We lost power, which I mean, no, that's bad, but I mean, we're okay. But the area next to us, there were some deaths in our county, about 20 minutes from us, and actually, we had a lot of deaths in Mississippi from the storm. So. It was a blessing that it didn't. I mean, it got bad here, but not like that. So we're blessed to go through that storm. So
major flooding and some wind gusts, but nothing that we can complain about. We're very thankful.
Definitely. But hey, right now we've got pretty temperatures for the next few days.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain Sunday, but we like the showers because it helps our garden grow. So we're good with that. We're really good with that. We actually built 2 more raised beds today, along with. But yeah, like we need more raised beds.
You can never have too many.
More raised beds.
I have some major herb growth going on in the greenhouse, and I need to get them somewhere.
Well, we actually, of course, y'all seen our greenhouse. It's like if we have room, we put more flowers in there. So when we put more flowers in there, we have to find places to put the flowers that we had in there. So that's what we're doing. A lot of the herbs that Misty has propagated are either cut or taken.
This year, I've grown most of them from seed. Actually,
I think we're going to grow our loofahs there too. Build a trellis there. We've got some loofahs from when we went to the Stivers, Grammy Karen, when we went to y'all's harvest celebration. So we've got some. We're going to actually try to grow them there too. That's something we've never grown is loofah gourds, so we're going to grow some there this year because we have the room there.
And I'm super excited about that. Yep. That's right. See, they said you never.
Fancy farmer. Some we start from seeds. Some of them we take cuttings on. Misty has done both. Like our basil, we rock with some basil. Man, we
basil is really really easy. If you know where to take the clipping from, you drop it down in the water. It has to be really really warm. Change the water every few days. That sucker will shoot out roots in no time. When your roots get inch long, plant them, and it'll take off.
But Fancy farmer, pretty much. If you're going to try to grow from seed, basil's very easy.
Parsley was easy.
We have rosemary you want to do from a cutting. It seems like it's going to be a lot easier.
I've never grown rosemary from seed.
Yeah, we just cut them. Actually, we went to a mall one time, and they had rosemary growing outside. We straight up took some cuttings.
Those they didn't make it though.
If we could steal anything and we sold rosemary. They should have been in the
greenhouse. I didn't have the temperatures.
Rosemary. I bet people were like, "Oh, let them have the bush. Let them have it."
Oh, bushes were big, huge, and beautiful. They were so pretty. I was like, I will.
Yeah, oregano was another one. Lemon thyme, oregano, chives. I agree. Thank you so much for answering those, Kim.
Yeah, I love growing stuff from seed. I have a huge.
Hey, Muay Thai, how are you?
Huge tray of basil that. Probably my smallest starters right now, but they grew. I mean, it is absolutely.
Ain't never enough time. How are you?
And a lot of you guys can jump on our Facebook page. I posted a ton of pictures yesterday from the stuff that I grew on from seed in the greenhouse, and a lot of it that I have even transplanted into our raised beds. So. Super excited about that. Now I have been off of social media all day today. It's just part of something that we're doing, but I will jump back on there tomorrow. If anybody has tagged me or left comments or anything like that, I will catch that up. I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow.
Karen, what carton containers are you talking about that's getting moldy? Let me know. We don't have moldy is not a good sign of anything.
If you have used them before.
Oh,
then you might.
Like solar cell container cell trays. Trying to see if Karen was talking about cell trays.
It's not a bad idea either if you have reusable cells to just
We had 40s last night too, rehab light.
Bleach them out in between uses. We don't practice that, but they're new. We don't practice that, but a lot of people do, especially if you pulled something out of there that didn't grow well or didn't look good. You might want to clean in between.
Karen, the only thing I could think of is kind of what I think Freaky was talking about too.
Too much water.
It might be getting too much water, or your soil may not be draining like it should. That's one thing you have to watch with when we do microgreens. You have to make sure you have a really good draining soil because it can cause a lot of rotting, and which can be definitely moldy. It could be too much water.
That's maybe what I would suspect is not good drainage. Depending on what type of soil you use, some soils, depending on the blends of them, will hold water, and some don't.
So what I do, Karen, is I don't know what kind of soil you're mixing. Mix some peat moss in there. That would be good. That always seems to help the soil.
It does hold. It does hold.
It holds water, but it helps it get out of there quicker too.
Just hold. What I would do, because we do blend peat moss. If you water it good one day, then let it completely dry out, and until you're ready to water again. So if you put tomatoes in there and you water them really heavy, then wait until the soil is like at least like if you can stick your finger in an inch deep and it's completely dry. Or if the plant itself is showing any signs of needing water, then water it. But other than that, I would withhold the water.
We mix ours 3-part. We mix the topsoil, or really 4 parts when we have it. We mix our compost, but we used to do that in the bottom of the beds. But anytime we're mixing, our topsoil is very loose. The peat moss helps it hold it, and then we'll mix worm casting. Worm castings are excellent, but also it can help hold moisture too. So when you use some of those better quality soils, humus, manure, anything like that, you're going to tend to hold water. So you need to mix it with topsoil and make sure you have it's not too packed and too tight, because it might be too water too much. Good luck with that though.
I try to, like yesterday I went out and had not watered in several days. And I went out and I had 1 row of tomatoes, and they are probably 16 inches tall.
Yeah.
And they're in tiny little bitty bottoms, and my leaves were showing me I need water. So I watered those really, really heavy, and I just kind of misted everything else. And that nothing needed water today. So I just left it all alone.
Art of creation.
I will check it again tomorrow and see.
Easy answer, art of creation. Cherokee purple or Cherokee purple are my all-time favorite tomato to eat. They're hard to grow to me. I mean, not hard to grow. They tend to have a lot more bug issues because they're heirloom tomato, but I love Cherokee purple. Would be my next choice would probably be a beefsteak because I like a big tomato sandwich. But Cherokee purple is where it's at. Manure. How you say manure?
That's how I say it.
Manure.
I have a friend that was born and raised here in Mississippi.
Manure. How you say
and she lives in Illinois. No, she lives in do they live in Illinois? Aaron and them live in Illinois. So they live in Illinois, and she's married up there. Her husband's from up there, and her daughter's always been raised there. And they were having a debate the other night of how to say
manure.
Manure. Oh, poem. Poem or
I say poem.
Poem or poem.
No, I say poem. I say poem, like POME. Poem. Go write a poem today.
Poem or poem?
Poem. That's stupid. It doesn't have a POIN in there.
Isn't that what I said? Poem. They just call it poo.
Oh gosh. I say manure. I don't really.
That's how I say it.
Manure.
Yep. That's hilarious.
It is funny that a lot of these people on here are from Minnesota and Canada, so that is kind of funny.
Can y'all understand?
Hey, Celtic Roots, how are you?
Tomato.
Cherokee purple are my favorite, though. I would have to say we grew, like 30 different kinds last year, and the ones that we didn't like the most, the best. So this year we focused on We did celebrity. We did beefsteak. We did another variety of heirloom beefsteak. I don't even know what the name of it was called. And then we did Cherokee purple. And Misty, we had some seeds. The Brandywine seed was from last year, and there was one more.
I don't remember.
One more variety.
I only have like a million in there.
Yeah, there was another variety that we grew from last year too.
Grammy Karen said, "We totally understand what you say.
You're not too far from. Oh goodness."
Yeah. So last year, I've used a lot of those tomatoes to do things like make salsa and spaghetti sauce and stuff like that. I actually put a majority of those in the freezer.
We still have tomatoes in the freezer that we haven't done anything with.
A lot.
Yeah, like a lot.
But it's so hard to like get in the kitchen and do everything I need to do with he's 1.5 now or almost 2, but everything that I need to do because there are so many times I have to stop and either go to change diapers or get a snack.
Rehab Life says you have such a sweet accent. You can say what you want. Her yelling voice is not too sweet though.
I only do that every now and then.
I have tried Abe Lincoln tomatoes. We talked about getting some. We saw some on Johnny Seeds this year and saw some on, I think it was in my gardener, but we just didn't buy them. I think, and then they didn't have any seeds. So we bought local seed this year from on our tomatoes because most of our seed we buy offline, but we did buy some local this year for tomatoes.
And I actually I had somebody ask a question on one of the groups that we
Good job, Kim.
That we follow on Facebook, and they were asking the best place to buy seeds from. What does that say?
What?
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Anyway, they were saying the best place to buy seeds from, and a lot of people were saying that a lot of places were sold out. I suggested Baker Creek and
Hoss Tools.
And Hoss Tools because we have had, down in the South, we have had probably the best success with
Hoss Tools is in the same zone or close to our zone. We're zone 8B, and I think they're in 8A or 8B1. So it's their seeds tend to do a little bit better.
But a lot of people were saying that they were having trouble finding seeds. A lot of places were sold out, but we bought ours so long ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we have bags of seeds, but
we might have a problem.
We have a problem. It's true.
And then I save a lot of my own seeds, like carrots, basil, parsley. No, not parsley. Yeah, I did save some parsley.
Let's try that.
Dill.
We can't name all of them. We have so
tomatoes, peppers, lettuces. Oh my heavens! All broccolis. A lot of those seeds. Pumpkin. All of those that we have now that I have bagfuls of was from what I learned to keep how different things go to seed different ways. Like a tomato doesn't go to seed, but lettuce goes to seed. So I have tried really hard to learn all that stuff in the past few years, so that way we can keep our own seeds.
Stacy, we don't grow Roma. Roma has a harder outside, and I know there's a good Italian tomato, and that's what we talked making tomato sauce this year. But we don't tend to grow Romas because I like raw tomato a lot. I eat tons of them. Like every meal I can. If we have tomatoes, I'm going to eat one. And I'm just not a big Roma fan because of the hard outside and also the white inside. They're a great tomato to me if you're making anything Italian, but it's just not my favorite to put on a sandwich. Same way with Better Boys. Better Boys has a heavier core, a heavier white core in there. So I'm not a big fan of those or Marianne's. I like them all. I'll eat any of them.
Thank you for that link, Miss Kathy, for Hoss Tools.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. Also, Granny Karen said her boy better not be washing his hats with her soap no more.
Homesteading gravy.
That stuff is too precious to be wasted on.
You ordered sweet potato slips, or are you talking about potato tubers? And if we have to grow our potatoes. Our potatoes have to be in the ground by basically late February, early March to get a harvest. Actually, we should be harvesting our potatoes.
I hope so.
Probably within 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Our sweet potatoes we've not done the slips yet. We actually have them growing in Missy's greenhouse. So we'll plant those probably in the next few weeks too. Here, sweet potatoes thrive in the South. So So we'll plant those when it gets about 80 or 90, when the soil gets about 80 or 90.
Yeah. And potatoes and onions.
Potato tubers.
We eat a lot. Like everybody likes potatoes almost anyway. French fries, baked potatoes, sliced potatoes, mashed potatoes. Some of you northern folks know what mashed potatoes are. We know mashed potatoes.
We just only plant growing on the spot you don't want to grow. I agree.
We like them almost any way you can think of. So we tried to do a lot this year, but I still don't think that's enough for our
Freaky
family.
Geek, actually, we try to grow lettuce basically all year long, and we've done great with that so far. But I have some of our heirloom lettuce starting to bolt a little earlier just because it's gotten some warm temperatures.
Yep, talking about the lettuce.
Mm-hmm. I love beefsteak. That's definitely my big sandwich tomato.
Mashed taters. You sound like you're from the South. She said mashed taters.
Oh, Alex, thank you so much for coming on. Anytime.
3:47.
I milk at 4, so you got me beat there. So go to bed, please.
Yes, please. Thank you for joining us.
Freaky Geek, we can grow them all winter long for sure, and grow them early spring and late fall. The only time that's a little hard to grow lettuce here that it won't bolt is simply in the summer, because we have 80, 90, and 100-degree days, and our sun is beaming.
Summer months are brutal.
We actually brought a big shade cloth this year to try to grow some lettuce under it all year. Yep. Heat tolerant lettuce, we get ours from the Butter Crunch lettuce from Hoss Tools. Seems to do well in the temperature. The purple Butter Crunch has done great.
I would suggest, if you guys don't know much about planting lettuce or managing lettuce, direct sowing is the best. It's so delicate.
Yeah, we direct sow all our
lettuce. Make sure you direct sow it. But once it is established, it's very hardy. We have beautiful lettuce in our raised beds.
Yeah, see, like Celtic Roots, like I know some of y'all have short growing seasons. See here, it's so different for us, and we would struggle with that because we can grow literally almost 10 to 12 months out of the year. If we pushed it, we could definitely grow 12 months out of the year. And this year we did. We grew something all year long. Hey, Heidi. So that's unique for us. We couldn't imagine not growing.
Thank you for checking on us, Heidi, by the way.
Not growing all the time. Potato tubers, remember, if you don't have to buy potato tubers. If you're buying organic potatoes from a grocery store, they're gonna knot up, and you can use those. We actually bought. I mean, most of ours are from just tomatoes that we've kind of let lay out for a little bit, and they actually started growing. So if you can't find your tubers, all you got to do is buy some organic, non-GMO potatoes and have at it, and they'll start growing.
Our sweet potatoes in the greenhouse are starting to get some really good roots.
Yeah.
So I hope they will do well, because this is our first time to actually do this.
How about sweet potatoes?
Yeah, but the roots they're really starting to get some really nice roots established. So I'm hoping that once a good root system gets established, we'll get growth on the new plants up top, which will be what we actually plant.
Our potatoes are probably 2 foot tall.
Oh yeah.
They're about 2 foot tall. Actually, they're so tall now, we actually are kind of doing the root stout method where we're putting ryegrass hay around them just to kind of help build them up and mound them up to make sure those don't get weak and fall.
There was two that were not thriving, or the system above ground looked really bad, and I chunked those.
Yeah,
I threw them in the compost.
Yeah, I mean, we really need a better corn and potato harvest this year. That's our goal. Our corn is rocking. I don't know if y'all seen our corn. We did a little video on it today, but our corn, that video was from about 3 days ago, and we of course, cottonseed meal and fish emulsion, and man, our corn is beautiful.
I cleaned out the chicken coop.
Beautiful. And we put chicken manure.
I cleaned out the chicken.
We put chicken manure.
Coop. I just took a shovel and went in. My girls need a new bedding, and I scooped it and put it in like a 5-gallon bucket. And once I got that sucker full, I walked over to the garden and tilted it sideways and just went on every row and just shook it, and until I covered all of the rows.
Thank you, JC.
It took me about 3 5-gallon bucketfuls. So I would be willing to say 15 gallons of fertilizer on the corn. That is going to do it some good too. So
Celtic Roots, I agree. We had some that we did. We we had from last year. Now, the only thing for us is hard to keep onions and potatoes. We got to find a better way to keep it. We're such a humid area.
Storage-wise, yeah.
We can't have root cellars here. Or let me go back. You probably could, but you have to really invest some big money in it because we're so humid here in the South that it's hard for us to keep things outdoors or not in a fridge. So we've got to figure out a better way to hold things. I've been watching videos about just brown paper sacking them, but we would I don't know. We lost a lot of either we didn't eat them. We lost a lot. And we couldn't keep the tubers from last year. They just didn't do well for us.
Yeah. Well, when you hear the term hot and humid, you only get it when you get here.
Yeah, definitely.
So like last summer, I remember we went to our bees, like it was in the afternoon and it was in the middle of the summer and we had our bee suit on. And when I tell y'all, it looked like we walked out of the shower, we had sweat. I had sweat dripping out of my hair.
Thank you, Homestead Engraving.
When we say hot and humid in the South, like if you're outside and I was in like shorts and a t-shirt and then I had my bee suit on over it. And I was dripping sweat when it rolls off of our face and drips off of us. That is hot and humid.
Rehab Life, we freeze. We do not can unless we're hot water bath and pickles or jams or something like that. We're not big canners. Nothing against it. We just choose not to. But we do freeze a lot. Like we just froze tons of greens. We have collard greens coming out of our ears. But we do grow. We have year-round crop rotation that we do. Our raised beds are a big focus for our cold weather stuff, other than our greens, just because they're so close to the house. That's why we've added so many extra raised beds this year.
I don't like the cold. But I will say we're still getting our carrots are still looking really, really well.
Yeah.
Our lettuces are still looking really, really well right now. And those the last two winter crops that we have.
We have a few cabbage plant out, but we're getting
getting
seed from them, and the broccoli we're getting from our cold weather broccoli. We're getting seed from them.
I've got two plants that I have designated to let go to seed.
Now we do have a new set of broccoli that's coming too.
Some of the spinach
is
starting to go to seed too. So I've designated some of that we're kind of eating off of, and then some of it I'm letting go to seed. So I'll have those seeds for next year.
Definitely. We have a heat tolerant broccoli that we picked up from Hoss Tools too.
You're close to Florida, you know.
Our heat tolerant broccoli is doing really well. It's rocking. It's every plant seed start we did is rocking, and that was all Hoss Tools Green Magic, I think it's called. It was a heat tolerant broccoli though, but it has done really well.
It looks really good.
And again, we've grown broccoli.
I put a picture on there of. They're not that old, but they already have florets on the top.
Really?
And I posted, that was one of the pictures that I posted on our Facebook page. I think it was like the very last one.
Yeah, Southern Louisiana is like us. We're Southern Mississippi, and it's just hot and humid. There's no other way to say it.
One of the things I don't miss from Southern Louisiana. Yep, it gets hot and humid in Louisiana too.
Rehab Life, that's my favorite green if we're going to cook greens. I like turnips. I like mustard, but collards are my favorite. When you throw bacon
chopped up and fry with some bacon.
See, Misty makes a homemade cornbread. Man, it's to die for. I like to mix it.
Cornbread just ain't good unless it's homemade, y'all.
Yeah, Misty makes a fine cornbread.
Tight clothes, tear, and hot humidity.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Oh, I don't think we told him about Jensen's little finger. So I was talking to Larry. I'm not sure if he's still on here. He had texted me and asked me some questions about the kombucha, and I was trying to help him. And right after I put the phone down, I heard Jennings. I had went in the schoolroom and I was helping Aiden do some studying. I had just sat down though. We'd gotten through several questions, and I heard Jennings scream bloody murder. So I knew something was wrong. And our 8-year-old was trying to fold her clothes, and he wanted to come in there. And when he goes in there, he has a bad habit of unfolding the clothes that she just folded. So she put him out and closed the door. And as soon as she slammed the door, his little finger was in there. So his little finger up at the top.
Like having in the woods.
When I pulled it out, it was flat. And because it took me a minute to get from the schoolroom to where he was, and it was flattened, and it was, busted open some. I felt so sorry for him. He cried and cried and cried and cried. Anyway, I got a splint and put on there and wrapped it up real good. It's pretty swollen. But we gave him some.
He's doing good right now.
We gave him some Motrin, just to help with the pain, and of course that'll help with some swelling too. So,
art of creation. I wouldn't say heat tolerant. When I say heat tolerant broccoli, I'm saying for us, 70s and 80s here, and even some 90s. It's not heat tolerant broccoli as in I'm growing in summer. It's more like for us because it
would be like our late spring.
Yeah, it'd be like what most people can grow cold broccoli this time of year. We have to grow one that can handle a little heat.
But for like Michigan and those type that area up there could probably grow it in the middle of summer because it doesn't.
Yeah, y'all probably could.
It doesn't get
like for us where people are growing spinaches now. Like I watch a lot of people that grow spinaches and cabbages now.
Ours are playing out.
Yeah, you couldn't grow that here. If you grew that here now, you would lose a lot to bugs or lose a lot to heat because it just can't thrive. Like for instance, we had a cabbage. We cut cabbages off, but we had about 2 cabbages left. But this heat has got it to where it can't.
The outside
it's pretty much done.
Rough.
Yeah, and some of our lettuce is bolted. Some of our cold weather lettuce.
Broke your finger. It hurts. Yeah. I can't diagnose it and say that it's broke without an X-ray, obviously, but by the signs, it might be. But there's nothing you can do about it.
We just put it in collards,
a splint and wrapped it up.
I don't like kale by itself. I like kale when it's mixed with other greens like collards or turnips or something like that. I don't like eating it by itself.
Our cabin in the woods had snow. Hey, I saw that on y'all's video.
It's crazy. I
could not do it. Could not do it.
Yeah, this weekend is supposed to be like 80 here, and that's normal temperature for us. So.
And I like that kind of weather. I like 80, 70, 80 degree. I'm not even okay with 90, but once you start getting over 90, it starts to get pretty warm.
Yeah, definitely.
Like kale in a salad.
Karen, I don't know how we deal with the humidity. We really don't. By the time it gets here, we're like, gosh, I'm ready for fall. The same way
y'all deal with the cold, because I could not survive. Y'all couldn't survive. Well, I guess if you've not born and raised in it, I could not see myself surviving in snow all the time. I would just I'm miserable here when it's cold. Like, muscle contractions, don't want to move.
Missy doesn't like it under 40. I mean, she that's too much.
I don't like it under 60.
So I can deal with the cold weather. I don't like cold and rainy, or like 20s or something like that. That's kind of crazy.
56 right now.
Yeah, we're kind of like that. Yeah, it's gonna drop to 42 tonight. 2.5 acres.
Yeah.
So but that's as cold as it's been a long time here in April that we're hitting 40s.
It's been pretty warm. I mean, I actually got. So was it Saturday we got sunburned?
Yeah, I got
Saturday. Jennings under his little cheeks got a little red, and my arms got a little red. So we had some really nice.
We did some. We had to do some fencing, and when I say we got burned, we
killed
a monster snake. Hungry steak. We killed a monster snake.
Yeah.
A monster snake, and shows how hot it is here.
Hate the cold too. Garden makeover. Oh wow, that's a big move.
Yeah, Sean, Alaska, that's crazy.
And needed 2 shirts a day for work. Man, that heat humidity almost killed me.
That is crazy. And see, that's what's so funny. Like our bees, we wouldn't lose bees. Our area, we won't lose bees to cold weather as much as we lose them just to the wetness and the raininess and them not having enough food for the winter. Like we don't really.
When it rains a lot, they don't go out. They will not go out and forage. It was 26 this morning.
Oh
Miss Diana at Justice Acres. Am I just still seeing her?
Hey, Miss Diana. 26. I didn't see her in here. Thank you for coming.
What can I do to get my husband to move south? Help. High today at 30. Ooh. Y'all are killing me. Turned on the AC. Yeah. And that's what's so crazy.
They're in New Hampshire.
When we went to Mike and Jeannie Pratt's in Michigan, they don't even have an air conditioner, which is crazy.
North Star. It's 27 there. It feels like 18. Oh my gosh.
Y'all are killing me.
Actually, for us, it's nothing for us to see snakes. We're on our 5th or 6th snake. So no, 7th snake.
You saw several over way on the other side of the garden. Which I will take that. I will take that because before we had our cat, they were coming up on the porches, like on the concrete porches around the house.
Snakes on the porches. Snakes in the house. We had a snake in the house.
Actually did have a snake in the house. Was it last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I think I was pregnant with Jenny.
2 years ago.
No, you were bathing him in the bath.
I don't remember. I think it was 2 years ago.
Holly was cleaning up.
Snowed today. Y'all are killing me. That is just that's too much.
How about you, Hank? How are you, man? We are just to get off, but thank you for coming on. At least we got some more southern folks in here that's got warmer temperatures. Hank, I imagine y'all like us. Y'all have some coolness, but mostly you're hot around this time. All these people get snow still blows.
Did y'all get any bad weather down there in Florida when that line come through? We were telling everybody earlier, we got some heavy rains and some wind gusts, several deaths in the counties around us, but our county for the most part was okay.
Yeah, we're still having high winds. We're not even in a windy area. We don't normally have winds here, but we've had a lot of wind this last few days, really.
Yeah, a lot of wind gusts. There's a trade-off. No snakes here.
Yeah. See, we have snakes, and of course, y'all seen the alligator video, but we it's
that
nothing
was just
for us to see that
like
kind of stuff.
At the end of our driveway. Basically, we have a pond as you pull onto our property, and he was a little too friendly for our feeling safe.
Yeah, Shauna in Alaska. What's so funny is when Mike and Jenny came down here, the Pratt family homestead, it was 60 and we had jackets on and they were in shorts and short sleeve shirts.
And that was
to them,
summer.
They were like, man, it's warm here. Yeah, it's too warm actually. Yep. Hey, Rustic Traditions, what's up?
So it's amazing how when you're born and raised in a certain climate and then you go to a different climate, how much it affects you. Because we were thinking, it's kind of chilly, but because they're not used to that, it was warm to them, but it was chilly to us. It's just amazing how people are so different.
Well, our girls are kind of all hanging out right here, and they're kind of getting us saying, oh, it's time to get off.
Your hour is up.
So thank y'all again for coming on. It's always fun to talk to you. I
hope you don't have to do anything else drastic in this time period, like cut somebody's hair.
We got a little spot right here.
I tried, y'all. I tried to do my best. I've never cut hair before.
Yeah, everybody wear your flip-flops. Nothing else. Nothing else. I'm glad we got that out of the way last time we were here. So thank y'all so much for coming on, though. We always have a blast talking to you. I tell you, it's just always fun to get on. We've had a long day, and like I said, we built some raised beds today. Missy's worked a ton in there. We had JJ with his finger. We got to end on a good note, catching a bee swarm. But it's been a long day, fun day. But thank y'all for always making our night even better. So, God bless you.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.